The Resilience drifted slowly toward the massive space station. Captain Taeyang Kim stood on the bridge, watching the giant structure grow larger on the view screen. The Galactic Commerce Hub was enormous. Bigger than any city on Earth. Hundreds of ships from different alien species came and went, like busy insects around a hive. "Captain, we're receiving docking instructions," said Dongmin Choi, the young navigator. His fingers moved quickly across his control panel. Taeyang nodded. "Good. Take us in slowly. Let's not give them any reason to be nervous." Behind him, First Officer Ji-Woo Lee checked the tactical display. Her face remained calm, but her eyes were alert. "Sir, I'm counting over 50 warships in the area. Most of them are just watching us." "Let them watch," Taeyang said quietly. Engineer Hee-Jin Park walked onto the bridge, wiping grease from her hands. "Captain, the outer hull is holding up fine. Everything looks properly broken and old, just like we planned." Taeyang smiled slightly. "Excellent work, Hee-Jin. How are the real systems?" Taeyang. 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 "Running perfectly," she said with a small grin. "They have no idea what they're looking at." The Resilience did look terrible. The outer hull was covered with mismatched metal plates. Some sections were rusted. Others looked like they had been welded on in a hurry. Exposed wiring ran along the outside in several places. The ship's engines leaked a small trail of steam that made it look like the vessel was barely holding together. To anyone watching, it appeared to be an old cargo ship that should have been scrapped years ago. As they approached the station, a communication channel opened. A lizard-like alien appeared on the screen. Its scales were deep purple, and its yellow eyes looked at them with clear disgust. "Human vessel," the alien said, its voice cold. "This is Station Control. You are cleared for Docking Bay 97. Dongmin's eyebrows went up. "Sir, Bay 97 is in the refuse section. That's where they put garbage ships, waiting to be recycled." The alien on the screen smiled, showing many sharp teeth. Taeyang kept his face blank. "Understood. Station Control. We will proceed to Bay 97. The screen went dark. Ji-Woo's hand tightened into a fist. But she said nothing. "Easy," Taeyang said softly. "This is exactly what we expected. In fact, it's exactly what we wanted." As they moved toward the docking bay, other ships began to notice them. Communication channels lit up with messages. Most of them were not friendly. "Look at that human trash heap." One alien captain laughed over an open channel. "Did they fly that thing all the way from their planet? I'm surprised it didn't fall apart." Another voice said, "Humans in the Galactic Council? What a joke. They can't even build a proper ship." Dongmin's jaw tightened, but he kept flying. Hee-Jin looked angry. Ji-Woo's eyes were cold and hard. Taeyang remained calm. "Remember your training. Words are just air. Let them talk." The ship docked in Bay 97. The area was dirty and dark. Old ship parts floated nearby. This was clearly where the station put things it wanted to forget about. Ambassador Subin Han was waiting in the docking area. She was a small woman with sharp eyes and a patient smile. She had been on the station for 3 days, trying to arrange meetings with the Galactic Council. "Captain," she said, as Taeyang walked down the ramp. "I'm glad you're here, but I have to warn you. This is not going well." "Tell me," Taeyang said. Subin led him through the station corridors. Aliens of all shapes and sizes stared at them as they passed. Some laughed. Others pointed. A few looked away as if embarrassed for the humans. "The Vexorians are leading the opposition," Subin explained. "They're a powerful empire. Very aggressive. They think humans are too weak and too primitive to join the council. They've been telling everyone that we're scavengers who stole our technology from other species. And the council believes them? Some do. Others just don't care enough to argue. The Vexorians have a lot of influence." Subin stopped at a large window. Below, they could see the main docking area. Beautiful, sleek warships sat in neat rows. Each one gleamed under the station lights. "They want us to look at that," Subin said. Taeyang looked at the warships for a long moment. Then he smiled. Let them have their moment. That evening, the Galactic Council held a meeting. Taeyang and Subin attended. The council chamber was huge, filled with hundreds of aliens from dozens of species. At the center sat the council leaders. The Vexorian commander, Throcknall, stood up. He was massive, over 8 feet tall, covered in dark red scales. His armor was decorated with medals and symbols of rank. "Honored Council," Throcknall said, his voice booming across the chamber. "We must discuss the humans' request to join our community. We have the right to be here," Subin said firmly. "We have met all the requirements. We have developed faster than light travel. We have established peaceful contact. We have, number 1, peaceful?" Throcknall laughed. "You arrived in a ship that looks like it survived a war with a junkyard. You have no fleet, no real technology. You are scavengers who found a working engine and flew it here hoping to beg for scraps from your betters." Several aliens in the chamber laughed. Others nodded in agreement. Subin's face turned red, but she kept her voice steady. "Our ship may not look impressive to you, but—" "May not look impressive?" Throcknall roared. "It is an insult. You insult this council by bringing that refuse here. You insult every species who worked and fought to earn their place among the stars." The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens argued with each other. Some defended the humans. Most did not. Taeyang stood up slowly. The chamber gradually became quiet as aliens noticed the human captain standing. "Commander Throcknall," Taeyang said calmly, "you judge us by our appearance. That is your right. But I would remind you of an old Earth saying, 'Never judge a book by its cover.'" Throcknall's eyes narrowed. "No," Taeyang said. "It's advice. Free of charge." The Vexorian commander's scales seemed to darken with anger. "We will see how brave you are when you face real power. The council will vote on your membership in 3 days. I suggest you use that time to prepare your ship for the long journey home. Because you are not welcome here." Taeyang bowed slightly. 3 days. As they left the chamber, Subin looked worried. "Captain, what are you planning?" Taeyang's eyes were calm, but cold. "We came here hoping for peace, Ambassador. But we prepared for this exact situation. Trust the plan. Trust the ship. And most importantly, trust our crew." Back at the Resilience, Heijin was running final checks on the hidden systems. Everything was ready. The ship's true power was coiled up like a spring, waiting to be released. Dongmin practiced flight patterns on the simulator, pushing the ship's real capabilities to their limits. Jiwoo reviewed tactical scenarios, preparing for every possibility. The crew of the Resilience waited. They had been mocked. They had been insulted. They had been underestimated. Soon, they would show the galaxy what humanity really was. The next morning, 3 Vexorian warships moved into position around the Resilience. They were massive vessels, each one bristling with weapons. Their dark hulls reflected the station's lights like polished metal. "Captain, we have company," Jiwoo reported from the bridge. Her screen showed the 3 warships forming a triangle around their position. Taeyang studied the tactical display. "Predictable. They want to intimidate us." A communication channel opened. Throcknall's face appeared on the screen. "Human Captain, my ships will escort you away from this station. You have 1 solar hour to prepare for departure." End quote. "We were told we have 3 days," Taeyang said calmly. "The council has reconsidered. You are a navigational hazard. Your ship is falling apart and could endanger other vessels. Leave now, or we will remove you by force." The screen went dark before Taeyang could respond. Dongmin turned in his chair. "Sir, they're actively scanning us. Deep scans. They're trying to map our entire ship, Let them scan, Taeyang said. They'll only see what we want them to see. Down in the engine room, Heijin worked quickly. Her fingers flew over control panels. Around her, the engine room looked old and barely functional. Pipes dripped. Lights flickered. Warning alarms beeped constantly. But it was all an act. Behind the false walls and under the fake panels, the real ship hummed with power. Advanced systems waited silently, ready to spring to life. Captain, Heijin said over the communication system. The special systems are ready. But I need to warn you. We've never tested them in real combat. Simulations only. Will they work? Taeyang asked. Heijin paused, then smiled. Yes, sir. They'll work. I guarantee it. On the bridge, Jiwoo pulled up old Earth history files on her screen. She read about ancient battles. Times when smaller forces defeated larger ones through clever tactics. Times when being underestimated was an advantage. What are you reading? Dongmin asked. History, Jiwoo said. Thermopylae. Agincourt. Midway. David and Goliath. Humans have always punched above our weight class. We just need to remember how. Across the station, Ambassador Subin was in an emergency meeting with the few council members who still supported humanity's application. Most of them were smaller species who understood what it was like to be bullied by stronger powers. The Vexorians are pushing for an immediate vote, said a small, blue-furred alien named Krisha. They claim your ship is dangerous. Our ship has done nothing, Subin argued. This is clearly just harassment. We know, Krisha said sadly. But the Vexorians have military power. Most council members are afraid to vote against them. Subin stood up. Then I request permission to speak before the full council. One last time. They've already denied that request, another council member said. I'm sorry, Ambassador. The vote will happen in 1 hour, unless your ship leaves before then. Subin rushed back to the Resilience. She found Taeyang in his ready room, studying star charts. Captain, they're going to vote us out. The Vexorians have won. We need to leave before they attack us. Taeyang looked up at her. His eyes were calm. Do you trust me? Ambassador? Subin hesitated. Of course. But, then, trust me now. We're not leaving. And neither are the Vexorians. Back on the bridge, the countdown continued. 45 minutes until the vote. 40 minutes. 35. The communication channels were filled with chatter. Dozens of alien species were talking about the humans. Most of the comments were cruel. I heard their ship runs on chemical fuel, like ancient rockets. Their weapons are probably just kinetic, maybe some primitive lasers. One good hit, and that ship will break apart like a toy. Why did they even come here? They must have known they'd be rejected. Dongmin muted the channels. Sir, I can't listen to this anymore. Don't mute them. Taeyang said. I want you to hear every word. Remember how they talk about us now. Remember it for what comes next. 20 minutes left. The Vexorian warships moved closer. Their weapons powered up. They weren't hiding their intentions anymore. Captain, Jiwoo said urgently. They're arming weapons. This isn't just for show anymore. Taeyang nodded slowly. Heijin, status report on all systems. The real systems. Heijin's voice came back strong and confident. Fusion antimatter hybrid reactor at full power. Weapons systems green across the board. Shield generators ready. Inertial dampeners calibrated. Hull plating ready to separate on your command. Sir, Terra's fist is ready to fly. Taeyang smiled. Terra's fist. The ship's real name. The name only the crew knew. Good, he said. Stand by. Jiwoo. What's the tactical situation? 3 Vexorian warships in attack formation. Their shields are up, weapons are hot. Based on their scans of us, they believe they can destroy us with minimal effort. They're not expecting a fight. Perfect. Taeyang said. Dongmin. Flight patterns ready? Yes, sir. The Terran spiral is loaded and ready to execute. 10 minutes left. A new message came through from the council. It was short and cold. The vote has concluded early. Humanity's application for council membership has been rejected. You have 10 minutes to begin departure procedures. 5 minutes. The Vexorian ships moved even closer. They were less than 1,000 meters away now. Close enough that their weapons couldn't miss. Throcknell's face appeared on the screen again. Time is up, humans. I am giving you one final chance. Power up your engines and leave, or we will open fire and scatter your pieces across space. Taeyang stood up. His crew watched him. They were nervous but ready. Every one of them knew what was about to happen. Commander Throcknell, Taeyang said clearly. You have made several mistakes today. First, you judged us without knowing us. Second, you threatened us without understanding us. And third, you assumed we came here unprepared. Throcknell's eyes narrowed. What are you talking about, human? I'm talking about the difference between looking weak and being weak, Taeyang said. We hoped we wouldn't have to do this. We came here for peace. We wanted to join the council. Through diplomacy and friendship. You failed. Throcknell sneered. No, Taeyang said. You failed. You failed to recognize that humanity didn't survive by being the strongest. We survived by being the smartest, by being adaptable, by being prepared. Enough of your speeches. Last chance. Leave or die. Taeyang looked at his crew. Haijin nodded. Jiwoo's hand hovered over her weapons console. Dongmin's fingers were steady on the flight controls. Haijin, Taeyang said quietly. Drop the disguise. Yes, sir. With pleasure. Her fingers moved across her panel. All across the ship, explosive bolts fired. The outer hull panels began to separate. Years of fake rust and jury-rigged plating fell away. The old, broken exterior peeled off like dead skin. Underneath, the real ship emerged. The resilience was gone. Terra's fist had arrived. Weapon ports opened along the hull. Advanced sensor arrays deployed. The engines, which had been leaking steam and looking broken, now glowed with bright blue power. The ship's true reactor core came online, and energy readings spiked across every sensor in the area. On the Vexorian warships, alarm klaxons began to wail. Their sensors were going crazy, detecting energy signatures that shouldn't be possible from a human vessel. Throcknell's face on the screen showed shock. Then anger. Then something that might have been fear. What is this? He demanded. Taeyang's smile was cold. This is Terra's fist. And you just made the biggest mistake of your military career. You wanted to see human strength? Now you'll get your wish. The stage was set. The trap was sprung. And the real battle was about to begin. For a long moment, nobody moved. Every ship around the station watched in stunned silence. The transformation from broken cargo ship to advanced warship had taken less than 30 seconds. Now Terra's fist floated in space, its hull gleaming with polished armor plating. Throcknell recovered first. His face twisted with rage. Trickery! Deception! You will pay for this insult. You fired the first shot, Taeyang said calmly. Well, you threatened to. We're just showing you that threats go both ways. All ships, open fire, Throcknell roared. The 3 Vexorian warships unleashed a barrage of energy weapons and missiles. Bright beams of concentrated energy lanced through space. Dozens of missiles streaked toward Terra's fist, their engines leaving trails of light. Brace for impact, Jiwoo said, her voice steady. The attack hit. Energy beams struck the shield surrounding Terra's fist. The shield glowed bright blue, absorbing the impact. Missiles exploded against the barrier, creating brilliant flashes of light. When the light faded, Terra's fist was completely undamaged. Dongmin checked his sensors. Shields at 96%. That barrage barely scratched us. Around the station, aliens watched in disbelief. The communication channels exploded with shocked voices. How is that possible? Those shields shouldn't exist on a ship that size. What are those humans? Taeyang leaned forward in his chair. Jiwoo, return fire. Precision strikes only. Target their weapon systems. I want them disabled, not destroyed. Yes, sir. Firing railguns. Along Terra's fist hull, 6 railgun ports opened. Inside, massive magnetic accelerators charged up. Then they fired. The railgun rounds were simple pieces of dense metal. But they traveled at incredible speed. A significant fraction of light speed. When they hit with the force of small nuclear weapons. The first Vexorian warship never had a chance. 3 railgun rounds struck its forward weapons array. The impact was precise and devastating. Explosions rippled across the alien ship's hull. Its main guns exploded. Its missile tubes were torn apart. In 3 seconds, the warship went from a deadly threat to a helpless target. Direct hit, Jiwoo reported. Their weapons are completely offline. They're venting atmosphere from multiple sections, but their life support is intact. Good shooting, Taeyang said. What about the other 2 ships? The second and third Vexorian warships tried to flank Terra's fist, coming at it from 2 different directions. They fired continuously, pouring energy and missiles at the human ship. Shields holding at 92%, Dongmin reported. Sir, should I evade? No, Taeyang said. Let them waste their ammunition. Then show them what real flying looks like. The Vexorian ships kept firing. Their captains were screaming orders, demanding more power, more weapons, more speed. But nothing worked. Terra's fist shields absorbed everything. Then Taeyang gave the order. Dongmin, execute evasive pattern Delta 7. Show them the Terran spiral. Dongmin. Yes, sir. With pleasure. Dongmin's hands flew across his controls. Terra's fist suddenly accelerated. The ship shot forward so fast that it seemed to blur. The Vexorian ships, which had been tracking it easily, suddenly lost their target. Then Terra's fist did something impossible. The ship began to spin. Not just a simple roll, but a complex spiral motion while moving forward at high speed. It rotated on all 3 axes at once, creating a corkscrew pattern through space. And while it spun, it fired. Railgun rounds and energy beams shot out from Terra's fist in all directions. The ship's targeting computers compensated for the spinning motion, making every shot perfectly accurate. The second Vexorian warship took multiple hits. Its engines exploded. Its weapons were torn away. Its shields collapsed. In seconds, it was drifting, powerless and broken. Second target disabled, Jiwoo said. She sounded almost happy. The third Vexorian ship, the flagship commanded by Throknal, tried to retreat. Its engines burned bright as it attempted to put distance between itself and the human vessel. They're running, Dongmin said. Don't let them go far, Taeyang ordered. We need to make our point clear. Terra's fist accelerated again. The ship's advanced engines allowed it to match the Vexorian flagship's speed easily, then exceed it. Within seconds, Terra's fist was alongside the fleeing warship. Target their communication arrays, Taeyang said. I want the commander to see what's coming but unable to call for help. 2 precise railgun shots destroyed the flagship's communication dishes. Throknal's ship was now alone, cut off from any support. The Vexorian commander tried one desperate move. His ship turned sharply, attempting to ram Terra's fist. If he couldn't shoot it down, maybe he could destroy it by crashing into it. Sir, he's trying to ram us, Dongmin warned. I see it, Taeyang said calmly. Heejin, prepare the EMP pulse. Ready, sir? Heejin's voice came back. The Vexorian flagship bore down on them, its massive hull aimed like a spear at Terra's fist. Fire EMP, Taeyang ordered. A wave of electromagnetic energy burst out from Terra's fist. It was invisible, but incredibly powerful. The pulse washed over the Vexorian flagship like a wave. Every electronic system on the alien ship died instantly. Lights went out. Engines stopped. Weapons powered down. The flagship went completely dark, its momentum carrying it forward but with no control. Now, Dongmin, move us. Dongmin executed a vertical thrust. Terra's fist shot upward. The Vexorian flagship sailed past underneath them, missing by less than 50 meters. The dead ship continued forward, unable to stop or turn. Heejin, their life support? Taeyang asked. Still functioning, sir. The EMP was tuned to hit weapons and engines only. They have air and heat. They're not in danger. Taeyang nodded. Good. Jiwoo, send them a message on emergency frequencies. Their backup systems should still work. Channel open, sir. Taeyang spoke clearly. Commander Throknal, your fleet is disabled. Your weapons are destroyed. Your ships are helpless. But you are alive. Every one of your crew members is alive. We could have destroyed you. We chose not to. There was silence from the Vexorian flagship. Then, a small emergency light came on. A crackling voice came through, filled with shock and disbelief. How? How did we defeat you? Taeyang finished. By being smarter. By planning ahead. By building a ship that looked weak, but was actually strong. You judged us by appearances, Commander. That was your mistake. Around the station, every alien species was watching. The communication channels were completely silent now. No one laughed anymore. No one mocked the humans. They had just watched a single human ship defeat 3 Vexorian warships in less than 5 minutes. And the human ship had barely been scratched. Taeyang opened a channel to the Galactic Council. Council members, this is Captain Taeyang Kim of Terra's Fist. We came here in peace. We hoped to join your community through friendship. You rejected us. Your enforcers threatened us. We defended ourselves. He paused, letting his words sink in. Now I'm going to do something that might surprise you. We're going to help repair the ships we just disabled. We're going to save the lives of the people who tried to kill us, because that's what humans do. We fight when we must, but we show mercy when we can. Taeyang looked at his crew. Heejin, deploy repair drones. Target the Vexorian ships. Stabilize their systems and patch their hull breaches. Yes, sir. Drones launching now. Small robots emerged from Terra's Fist. They flew toward the disabled Vexorian warships and began emergency repairs. They sealed breaches, restored basic power, and stabilized life support systems. On the Vexorian flagship, Throknal watched the human repair drones fixing his ship. His expression was complex, a mix of shame, confusion, and something that might have been respect. Ambassador Subin, who had been watching everything from the station, smiled. The council had wanted to see what humans were capable of. Now, they knew. And the galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. The repair drones worked quickly. Within minutes, the 3 Vexorian warships had stable life support and emergency power. The immediate danger to their crews was over. But the real drama was just beginning. In the council chamber, emergency alarms were ringing. Council members rushed to their seats. Screens showed the battle replays from dozens of angles. Everyone wanted to see how a single human ship had defeated 3 Vexorian warships so easily. The council leader, a tall being made of living crystal named Kralenth, called for order. This session will come to order. We have just witnessed an unprecedented event. A species we rejected for membership has demonstrated military capability beyond most council races. A large, slug-like alien raised a tentacle. This is exactly why we should not allow them to join. They are clearly aggressive and dangerous. They were defending themselves, Krisha argued. The Vexorians threatened them first. They deceived us, another alien shouted. They came here in disguise, hiding their true power. How can we trust such trickery? The chamber erupted in arguments. Some aliens were afraid of human power. Others were impressed. A few were angry at being fooled. On Terra's fist, Taeyang watched the council debate on his screen. "They're scared," he said quietly. "Good," Jiwoo said. "Fear creates respect." "Sometimes," Taeyang replied. "Sometimes, it creates hatred. We need to be careful here." "Entei." Heejin's voice came over the speakers. "Captain, I'm getting some interesting data from our sensors. The Vexorian ships aren't alone out here. I'm detecting at least 20 other warships powering up weapons across the station sector. Multiple species." Taeyang's eyes narrowed. "Are they targeting us?" "Not yet, but they're getting ready for something. I think some of them are considering whether to attack us while we're alone." "Show me the tactical map," Taeyang ordered. The main screen changed. It showed Terra's fist surrounded by red dots. Each dot was a warship from a different species. Some were moving closer. Others were holding position, but clearly on alert. "They're testing us," Jiwoo said. "Trying to decide if what we did was luck or skill." Dongmin turned in his chair. "Sir, what if they all attack at once?" 20 ships is a lot, even for us." Taeyang thought for a moment. "Hey Jin, what's our status?" "Shields at 88%. All weapons systems green. Reactor at 70% capacity. We can fight. But Captain, if they all come at us together, we'll have problems." "Then we make sure they don't all come at us together," Taeyang said. He opened a communication channel. "This is Captain Taeyang Kim. To all ships in this sector, we have no desire for further conflict. We defended ourselves against an unprovoked threat. We will continue to defend ourselves if necessary. But we prefer peace." For a long moment, there was silence. Then, a new voice came over the channel. It was rough and deep, like gravel grinding together. "Human Captain, this is War Leader Brockthar of the Kryn Collective. Your display was impressive, but the Vexorians are warriors of high reputation. Perhaps you simply got lucky." Taeyang recognized the challenge in those words. "War Leader, if you wish to test our luck, you're welcome to try. But I should warn you, we have a saying on Earth. Luck favors the prepared." Bold words from a single ship. "We're not just a single ship," Taeyang said. "Heijin, send War Leader Brockthar the coded transmission." Heijin's fingers moved across her console. A data packet shot out from Terra's fist. On the Kryn warship, Brockthar looked at the data that appeared on his screen. His eyes widened. The transmission showed the locations of 4 other human ships, each one identical to Terra's fist, positioned throughout the galaxy. "You sent 5 ships?" Brockthar said, his voice showing respect for the first time. "We sent 5 ships we're willing to tell you about," Taeyang corrected. "Earth is not unprepared, War Leader. We didn't come to the stars with just hope. We came with strength." Around the sector, other ships began to receive the same transmission. The red dots on the tactical map started to move away. One by one, the warships that had been considering an attack began to back off, but not all of them. 3 ships moved closer instead. They were from a species called the Torvan Dominion, known for their aggression and pride. "Human ship," the lead Torvan captain announced. "The Dominion does not fear your tricks. We challenge you to combat. Prove your worth or be destroyed." Jiwoo checked her sensors. "Sir, those ships are heavily armed, bigger than the Vexorian vessels. If they attack, this will be a real fight." Taeyang stood up. "Ambassador Subin, are you hearing this?" Subin's voice came back immediately. "Yes, Captain. I'm in the council chamber now. They're watching everything. Some of them want to stop this. Others want to see you fail. The council is divided." "Understood," Taeyang said. He opened a channel to the Torvan ships. "Torvan Captain, we have no quarrel with you. Stand down. We do not stand down for anyone, the Torvan replied. Especially not for newcomers, who think one victory makes them strong. The 3 Torvan ships spread out, forming an attack pattern. They were moving with military precision, clearly experienced in combat. They're good, Jiwoo observed. Much better than the Vexorians. Then we'll have to be better than good, Taeyang said. Dongmin, give me maximum maneuverability. Hey Jin, divert all available power to shields and weapons. Jiwoo, target their engines first. I want to immobilize them, not destroy them. Sir, Dongmin said carefully. That's going to be harder than just blowing them up. I know, Taeyang said. But we're not here to prove we can kill. We're here to prove we belong. There's a difference. The Torvan ships opened fire. Their weapons were different from the Vexorians. Instead of energy beams, they fired what looked like balls of compressed plasma. The plasma shots moved slower than lasers but hit much harder. Evasive maneuvers, Taeyang ordered. Dongmin's hands danced across his controls. Terra's fist twisted and turned through space. The plasma shots streaked past, missing by meters. The ship's inertial dampeners kept the crew from being thrown around, but everyone could feel the stress of the high-speed movements. They're anticipating our moves, Jiwoo said, adjusting their firing patterns. These pilots are experienced. Then let's show them something they haven't seen before, Taeyang said. Dongmin, execute the broken wing. Dongmin smiled. The broken wing was a dangerous maneuver. Terra's fist suddenly seemed to stumble in space, its movements becoming erratic as if it had been damaged. The ship listed to one side, its engines appearing to misfire. The Torvan ships saw what looked like weakness. They moved in closer, confident they were about to finish off their prey. Now, Taeyang said quietly, it was a trap. Terra's fist, explosive to life. The broken engines fired at full power. The ship spun around, faster than should have been possible, and fired all weapons at once. Railgun rounds, energy beams, and missiles shot out. The Torvan ships, caught by surprise, tried to evade. But they were too close. The first Torvan ship took 3 direct hits to its engine array. Explosions rippled across its stern. The ship went spinning out of control, its engines dead. The second ship managed to dodge most of the attack, but one railgun round clipped its port side, tearing away its weapon systems. The third ship tried to ram Terra's fist, just as Throcknell had. But this time, Dongmin was ready. He executed a vertical flip that made the human ship seem to vanish from the Torvan's path. Then Terra's fist dropped down behind the Torvan vessel and fired a single, precise shot that destroyed its main engine. All 3 Torvan ships were disabled in less than a minute. The communication channels across the sector were silent. Every alien who had been watching saw the same thing. Humans didn't just win. They won with style, with precision, with mercy. Taeyang opened a channel to the Torvan ships. Torvan captains, your ships are disabled but your crews are safe. We're sending repair drones to help you. Just as we helped the Vexorians. You challenged us, we answered. Let this be the end of it. There was a long pause. Then the lead Torvan captain spoke. His voice was different now. Less aggressive. More thoughtful. Human captain, you fight with honor. You could have destroyed us. You chose mercy. The Torvan Dominion respects strength, but we respect mercy more. You have our respect. In the council chamber, Kralenth watched everything. The Crystal Leader's thoughts were complex. These humans had proven themselves in battle twice now, but more importantly, they had shown restraint. They fought only when attacked. They showed mercy to defeated enemies. They had power, but didn't abuse it. Maybe, Kralenth thought, humanity did belong in the council after all. The repair drones from Terra's fist worked on the Torvan ships, just as they had worked on the Vexorian vessels. Human technology sealed hull breaches, restored power systems, and stabilized life support. Within an hour, all the damaged ships were safe. On the station, crowds of aliens gathered at observation windows to watch the human ship. Terra's fist hung in space like a silver blade, beautiful and deadly. The mockery from before was gone. Now, there was only quiet respect, and in some cases, fear. Ambassador Su Bin received a message on her personal device. It was from Kralenth, the council leader. Ambassador Han, please bring Captain Kim to the council chamber immediately. The council wishes to speak with him. Su Bin rushed to Terra's fist. She found Tae Yang on the bridge, monitoring the repair operations. Captain, the council wants to see you. Right now. Tae Yang looked at his crew. Ji Woo nodded. Hyejin gave him a thumbs up. Dong Min smiled. Go get them, Captain, Ji Woo said. Tae Yang and Su Bin walked through the station corridors. This time, the aliens they passed didn't laugh or point. Instead, they moved aside respectfully. Some nodded. A few even bowed slightly. In the council chamber, every seat was filled. Representatives from hundreds of species waited. The room was completely silent as Tae Yang and Su Bin entered. Kralenth stood up, his crystal body catching the light. Captain Tae Yang Kim, you have been called before this council to answer for your actions. Tae Yang stood straight. I'm ready to answer, council leader. You came to us in disguise. You hid your true capabilities. You deceived us all. Some council members believe this is grounds for permanent rejection from the galactic community. What do you say to this? Tae Yang took a deep breath. Council leader, with respect, we didn't hide our capabilities to deceive you. We hid them because we didn't know what we would find out here among the stars. Earth is a young species. We have no allies, no protection. We had to assume that some species might see us as weak and try to exploit us. So you assumed the worst of us? An alien challenged. We hoped for the best, Tae Yang replied. But we prepared for the worst. That's how humans survive. We don't just hope. We plan. We adapt. We prepare. Kralenth's crystalline face was hard to read. You disabled 8 warships today. You could have destroyed them. Why didn't you? Because destruction is easy, Tae Yang said. Any fool with a weapon can destroy. But showing mercy, showing restraint, proving that you're strong enough to choose peace, that's hard. We wanted to show you that humans can fight. But more importantly, we wanted to show you that we choose not to fight when we don't have to. A small alien in the back row stood up. It was Krisha, the blue-furred representative who had supported humanity from the beginning. Captain Kim, you spoke earlier of 5 ships. Are there truly 5 vessels, like Terra's fist? Tae Yang nodded. Yes. And before you ask, yes. They all have different disguises. We learned from human history that being underestimated is an advantage. We applied that lesson to space exploration. This is manipulation, someone shouted. This is survival, Tae Yang countered. You rejected us before we even had a chance to prove ourselves. The Vexorians threatened us. The Torvans challenged us. We defended ourselves both times. We won both times. And both times, we helped our enemies after defeating them. Kralenth raised a crystalline hand for silence. Captain Kim, you raise a fair point. The council treated you unfairly. We judged you by appearance. We allowed the Vexorians to threaten you. We denied you basic docking rights. For this, on behalf of the council, I apologize. This caused a stir. A council leader apologizing was rare. However, Kralenth continued, the question remains whether humanity should be granted council membership. This requires a vote. All members, prepare to cast your decision. Tae Yang watched as the voting system activated. Lights appeared above each council member's seat. Green for yes. Red for no. The lights began to appear. The first few were red. Then some greens. More reds. More greens. The count was close. Then something unexpected happened. A communication channel opened. Throcknell's face appeared on a large screen. The Vexorian commander was on his damaged flagship, surrounded by human repair drones. "Council members," Throcknell said, his voice tired but firm. "I wish to speak." "You have the floor, Commander," Kralenth said. "I came to this station convinced that humans were weak. I mocked their ship. I threatened their captain. I attacked them with 3 warships." Throcknell paused. "I was wrong. They defeated me easily. They could have killed my entire crew. Instead, they saved us. They sent their repair drones. They protected our life support. They showed mercy to an enemy who showed them none." The council chamber was completely silent. "The Vexorian Empire votes yes for human membership," Throcknell said. "They have earned it." More lights turned green. The Torvan representative stood up and cast a green vote as well. The Dominion also votes yes. Captain Kim and his crew have proven themselves worthy. One by one, more votes changed to green. Species that had been uncertain were now convinced. The humans had proven their strength. More importantly, they had proven their character. When the final vote was counted, it was overwhelming. 347 votes for humanity. Only 53 against. Kralenth announced the result. By majority vote of the Galactic Council, humanity is hereby granted full membership status. Welcome to the community of stars. Captain Kim. The chamber erupted in applause. Not everyone was happy. But even those who voted against had to respect the result. Subin had tears in her eyes. Tae Yang bowed respectfully to the council. "Thank you, council leader. Earth is honored by this decision." Over the next few days, everything changed. Terra's fist was moved from the refuse section to the prestigious diplomatic docking bay. Other human ships began to arrive, shedding their disguises. Each one was greeted with respect. Engineer Hei Jin found herself surrounded by alien engineers who wanted to learn about human technology. She was happy to share, teaching them about fusion antimatter reactors and advanced materials. Navigator Dongmin started a series of flight training sessions. Young pilots from dozens of species came to learn human techniques. The Terran spiral became famous across the galaxy. First Officer Ji Woo began working with the Council's military advisors. She shared human tactical thinking, teaching them about adaptability and creative problem-solving. Ambassador Su Bin established Earth's first embassy on the station. Within a week, she had trade agreements with 20 species. Captain Taeyang received visitors from many different worlds. Some came to apologize for their earlier mockery. Others came to ask for help or advice. A few came simply to thank him for showing mercy. One visitor was particularly important. Throcknell came to the ship personally. His scales looked duller now. His posture less aggressive. "Captain Kim," the Vexorian said, "I came to apologize properly. Face to face. Warrior to warrior." Taeyang invited him onto the bridge. "Commander Throcknell, you don't need to apologize again. You already voted for us in the council." "Voting yes was political," Throcknell said. "This is personal. I judged you wrongly. I threatened you. I tried to kill you. And you saved my life and the lives of my crew. In Vexorian culture, this creates a debt. A life debt." "There is no debt," Taeyang said firmly. "You were doing your duty as you saw it. We defended ourselves. Then we helped you because it was the right thing to do. That's all." Taeyang. 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 Throcknell studied the human captain for a long moment. "Your species is strange, Captain. But I am beginning to understand why you will do well in the stars. You fight hard. But you don't fight with hate. This is rare. On Earth, we have a saying," Taeyang replied. "The best warrior is the one who wins without fighting. We fought today because we had to. But our real victory was showing that we could choose mercy over vengeance. Throcknell nodded slowly. Perhaps the Vexorian Empire can learn from this. Perhaps we all can. He extended his clawed hand. May our species be allies, not enemies. Taeyang shook the offered hand. Allies. I like the sound of that. As Throcknell left, Ji-woo walked up to the captain. Sir, we're getting reports from the other human ships. They're all being treated well now. No more harassment. No more mockery. Good, Taeyang said. That's what we came here for. Was it worth it? Ji-woo asked. The deception? The fighting? The risk? Taeyang looked out at the stars through the view screen. We came to the stars hoping for friends. We prepared for enemies. We found both. But in the end, we turned enemies into potential friends. Yes, Lieutenant, it was worth it. 3 months later, Earth received its first official delegation from the Galactic Council. Dozens of alien species came to see humanity's homeworld. They expected to find a primitive planet, barely capable of spaceflight. Instead, they found a world full of art, music, culture, and 7 billion people ready to join the galactic community. They found cities that blended nature and technology. They found diversity in thought, culture, and approach. They found a species that had survived countless challenges and emerged stronger each time. And everywhere the aliens went, they heard the same human philosophy. Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. And always choose mercy when you can. The galaxy had mocked humanity's weak ship. Humanity had responded by showing their hidden strength, but more importantly, they had shown their hidden wisdom. They had proven that being underestimated wasn't a weakness. It was a strategy, and it had worked perfectly. Captain Taeyang Kim stood on Earth, watching alien ships land for the first time. His crew was beside him. The mission was complete. Humanity had its place among the stars, and they had earned it on their own terms. Captain, Heejin said, looking at the alien ships. What do we do now? Taeyang smiled. Now? Now we show them what else humans can do when we're not hiding. Now we show them what true partnership looks like. Now the real work begins. Now. Above them, Terra's fist orbited Earth, no longer disguised, shining proudly in the sunlight, a symbol of what humanity could achieve when they combined cleverness with strength, strategy with honor, and preparation with hope. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never judge a species by their appearance. Never underestimate those who seem weak. And never, ever, mistake mercy for weakness. Humanity had come to the stars, and they were here to stay.